Hello and welcome to class 5. So we're almost there. Got a couple of different moves in there today. Last time in class 4 we did the roll down into the press up. I'm actually going to replace both those moves, so they kind of became one. So I'm replacing it, but I'm present with two different moves. So I've tried to do it every time there's one new move in, but actually we're getting two new ones in today. Plus adding on to each of the movements we're doing as well. So let's get going. Find your space, pop your nice calming music on if you want it. I hope I've got this set, you can just about see my head. Neutral, feet underneath hips, get that even balance between toes and heels. Check your hips are in position, tall through the body, shoulders relax down and back. Switch on through the core, lift through the pelvic floor, think about your breath, and we're ready to go. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, let those arms float. Open out to the side. So keep your shoulders relaxed. Although we are working at the shoulder, warming the shoulder joint, we keep them relaxed. So you're not lifting through the shoulder, you're moving the arm. That gets into the shoulder joint then. Take the arms all the way up to the ceiling and lower. Then just a shoulder height to the side. All the way to the ceiling again. Feel the core hold tight. Only go as far as your shoulders allow. So if you can't go all the way up, don't do it. One arm will and the other doesn't. Then just go as far as that one arm allows. Last time out to the side. Relax it down, a little shoulder roll, reset yourself. Soft into the knees, arms hang at your side, and that twist. Breathe out as you twist to the side, breathe into the middle. Warming that spine, ready for our twists. Progressing them on today, so let's make sure we've got a nice warm spine. Remember the hips stay facing forward like two headlights, and it's thinking about moving through the shoulders. And practice now moving the neck in line with the spine, so the shoulders and head move as one. Last time. Bring it back to the middle. Set, keep the knees soft and the hips move this time, so the shoulders stay still, and try and allow the hips to circle. You might find you go really, really small. You might find all you can do is kind of go side to side. Whatever your hips allow, try and circle the other way. If you're only going side to side, then keep going. Maybe going the opposite way, you could get a little bit more of a movement. It's just starting to ease into the hip joint and the lower back, in the pelvis warm. Bring it back to the centre, reset and take those feet wider. Ready for our squats. Hips are still facing forward, knees and toes in line, not too wide. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, lower yourself down. Now I'm adding the arms straight away this time. So sit yourself, push your hips back. Bum in line with knees is the lowest we go. And really think about pushing into the whole of the foot as you rise. A little squeeze into your bum, bringing the hips back to neutral, but make sure you don't push them too far forward. It's thinking about coming back to that lengthening, almost as if you're coming against a wall, and you've got to really lengthen yourself and flatten against that wall. Sliding the shoulders down as you push up. And if you can, I'm just going to turn sideways on. We've got the arms. Could you go for a little squeeze behind? So it's not a push forward with the chest, and it's not a push forward with the stomach. It's a squeeze back. It's warming those legs. Two more if you can. Anyone else's knees grinding? Hopefully you can't pick it up. I don't know how many I've done now. I said 2 more, didn't I? Rise and a little loosen. Got ourselves a bit warmer. Balance. So reset yourself, tall through the body. We're going forwards and back. Switch on, breathe in, and as you breathe out, try and take that foot slightly forward, bring it back through the middle and take it behind. So you can tap. Take it forward and tap, maybe get your balance in the middle, take it behind and tap. As you feel you've got your balance, allow that foot to lift. So, remember, as you go behind, you can bend the knee to take the leg back and get a bit of a squeeze into the bum, or you start to go for that tip, keeping the body in line. So I realised I didn't have enough space. You're going to lose my head, but you still get the rest of it. Now, at this point, you can also start thinking about your foot. Maybe point, flex, that way you don't hit the floor as you come through the middle of our balance. Point behind. Concentrate on a point. That's normally when I start to wobble, is when I look around the room, or in this case, when I try and look at myself to see how it looks in the screen. Soft at that knee. I'm wobbling slightly into my ankle. As I wobble into the ankle, I can control it. The rest of my body stays still. Use your arms. So out to the side, and then take it in front. As you take the leg behind, just be careful that you don't allow the hips to twist. So always keeping the hips facing forwards. Because sometimes, and I've looked at myself in the mirror here, sometimes as you take the leg back, you'll get to a point where you can't go any further and you just turn your body. Try and keep the hips always facing forwards. So choose your level. You might still be at there, and that's fine, if that's going to help you build up your balance. And just give me one more time on each side, challenging yourself. So we attempted to try and get that T shape as you took the leg back. Bring the feet back to the ground and just give yourself a little foot pedal, easing it out. So we're ready to get going. Bring yourself to one end of the mat, tall through your body. Now we are going to go for a roll down to get down to the ground, but just one. Come down, and my challenge that I always do, the plank. So engage through the core, stand yourself tall, breathe in. As you breathe out, chin to chest, round through the shoulders, let the arms start to hang. A tip at the hip as you need, keep the knees soft. When you get to the bottom though, just feel that stretch. Hands to the ground, or bend the knees to bring the hands down and start to walk it forwards. So bring yourself to a plank. Tuck your toes, elbows are soft, body weight's forward. So you feel the weight into the chest rather than neck and shoulders. Hold for as long as you feel comfortable until you allow yourself to come to your knees. So we're going to come straight into sitting. We've got our twist. Start with the twist and then we're going to build it up. So just because it's a little bit more ladylike, turn it slightly sideways on. Take the legs out. So remember, you can do this sitting on a chair. You can do it kneeling if you want. You can go for cross-legged. But for those that can, take your legs out, lengthen them as long as you can stay sitting on your seat bones, tall through the body. And if you feel you can, push your toes towards the ceiling. Go to where's comfortable, not so you're feeling a stretch. The stretch is going to come as we add the move. So switch on, start in your prayer position, engage, lengthen, relax the shoulders, breathe in, and as you breathe out, twist. Breathe into center, breathe out and twist. So do as many as you want in this position. You turn the chest, so you end up looking down a leg, and you turn to the other way. You might not be able to take your legs very wide, but you can get your body to turn further, and that's fine. You might find you can get your legs wide, but you can't turn the body very far. Feeling okay? Take the arms out, relax the shoulders, and a turn. Remember, as you come back to the middle, engage and lengthen. Feeling that work through the body, into the back, maybe a bit into the chest, probably into the hips. So just to add a little more if you want it, we turn this into the saw, and we're going to do it into the final lesson, the saw, but just to introduce it. So you turn, face towards one leg, let the arms turn, so you then got the arm, and a little 3, 2, 1, bring yourself back to the middle. Turn the body, let the arm come in front, 3, 2, 1. Now use your out breath as you do that little pulse. Try and keep your hips to the ground. Can't go for straight legs, then you go bent. So just try a few. You can do it in cross-legged. You turn towards the knee. Now you might not be able to reach as far because you haven't got your legs to balance you. So really hold on tight with the stomach. Push the hips to the ground and see where you can go. Don't worry what the back arm's doing. As long as you bring that arm in front, and as you can see, it's that opposite arm that comes round and it just goes in front of you. So don't try and reach across the body, just bring it in front. One more each side. Can do this one sitting. It's a little harder to do the saw in a kneeling position though. Bring yourself into the middle and give it a little ease. Stretch. Just let yourself round. So it is through the sides of the body we've been working. Feel free to go for that reach across far as you need to get the stretch. Make sure you go the other way as well. Give those legs a little release too. Maybe kind of seems daft to do this stretch, but it just eases that inner thigh. We've stretched it as we opened our legs to do the twist, but in order to control us, we've also contracted that muscle. That just allows it to relax. Staying sitting, let's go for our new move. So we're going to go tricep dips. So this one is replacing the press-ups. Press-ups was all about working the front, the main big muscles, but it also got our little muscles into the back of the arm working. Now we concentrate on them. Any wrist problems, you can go for a fist if you want, or grab yourself a chair and put your hand on the edge of the chair. Not very easy to see if I do it like that. So imagine that's the chair, you put your hand there, so it can keep the wrist a little bit more in line. If you can though, you go hands flat. Lengthen. Now my arms really do extend. And for this move, once we get going, you will see that I hyperextend, but just lengthen. Get the back long, engage the core. I'm going to move back very, very slightly because I am going to change the legs in a moment. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, push. So it's all about bend of the elbow. As the elbows bend, the whole body starts to move back. And then you use the weight of your body push. You got to lift that body. It's not because you're lifting with the big muscle of the hips. It's because you're pushing into the ground with the hands and making the body lift up with the arms. And because you put that weight onto the arms, you should be able to really lengthen. So where can we go? You bend, you lengthen, and then you see if you can lift your bum off the ground. If you're already feeling the back of the arms and the wrists hurting, feel free to stop at just the tricep. So tricep dip, because you're dipping down. If you can manage, you try and lift further. Squeeze the bum. So your triceps are what's got to really hold the body up. That's why we do those first, to strengthen that muscle. And then you squeeze through the glutes, the core, to try and get the body long. Is it the triceps you need to strengthen though? Double check what your shoulders doing. If they started to go there, lengthen. Think about lengthening your neck. So your shoulders trying to rub your ears, or is there a good distance between shoulders and ears? Stop whenever you need to. Release your wrists. Keep going if you can. So if you need to, just link and just do a little wiggly. My daughter's taught me these from her gymnastics, and then you can do a little twist. And the one I like to do is just fold that way, to fold the opposite way. Join back in if you can. Give me 2 more. Whatever you're doing, put the weight. And you can start to progress it. So as you lengthen the arms, can you lift the bum? So you then start to add more weight to what you're lifting. And when you've done your last one, let the bum come back to the ground. Give those wrists a release again so you can do your wavy arms. I think she calls those spaghetti, and that's, I can't remember, she got them 2 names for them. Give them a little stretch, push them in the opposite direction. Then give your triceps a stretch. If you can, one hand down your back, push, pull, or if you can reach, you can go behind. I can just touch with that side over there. And don't forget the other arm. You might find that's enough. You might be able to push it a little bit further. If you struggle with your shoulders and you can't quite get there, you can go across that way. It doesn't get as good a stretch, but you can go across there. Right, shall we lay ourselves down? Let me double check. Laying on your side to start. So we've got to do our side leg lift. Get yourself long. Use whatever you need underneath your head. Shoulder down away. So we don't want it up in the ear. We need to see that neck. Hips are facing forward, so no rolling back. Use your hand to start with if you need to. If you do want that extra support, you can always bend that lower leg. But let's try without. Switch on. Top leg. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, lift. Breathe in and change the foot. Breathe out. Breathe in and change the foot. So find your range. We've done this a couple of weeks now. Say a couple of weeks. Done it a couple of sessions, a couple of classes. Move the arm when you're ready. So we added last time the lower leg lift. Could you add it this time? Squeeze that inner thigh. Hold on tight. See see how many you can do. Stop whenever you need to. Maybe you want to put that leg down, but you can keep going. If you go for there, see how far you can actually squeeze, so you really start to feel it up the side of the body. Or maybe concentrate on the foot. And can you go for the extremes? Really feel the tightening in your calf, and then push that heel away to feel the stretch into your calf. So we engage the whole of the leg. Stomach still tight. Final one. And then let it relax. So we don't really have to add more. You can just start concentrating on how the leg, how the body moves, which muscles are you feeling it in. And the more you become aware of how you're moving, the better it becomes. We're actually going to roll onto our front from there. So bring yourself. Last week, we changed the kicks into that lengthened leg. We're going to add on a little today. So start with the legs first. So let the legs relax. Get the body relaxed as well. I'm just going to move that arm so hopefully my voice projects properly. If you can, you're there. You're there. You put something underneath your head. I'm going to turn sideways. It actually isn't very good for your neck like this, so maybe do 1 or 2 watching and then get into a good position. But so my voice projects, I'm going to do it from here. Push the hips to the ground, pull the belly button in, breathe in, and as you breathe out, we squeeze and lift one leg. Try and keep the knee long. So it's not a bend, that's what we were doing before. It's that squeeze from the glutes, lifting the knee. Maybe it only just comes off the ground. Now I need you to really concentrate on making sure the hips stay flat. You might think, I can only go there. I want to go further. But as you go further, all you do is that. I need the hip flat and just start to strengthen. Now we're doing 2 things. We're strengthening down the back of the leg and into the lower back, at the same time as stretching into the front of the body, down the hip flexor. And that's sometimes where a lot of people are quite tight. So just really push the hip into the ground and squeeze. We added last time, if you can, to switch. Can you give me 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease it. Tuck your toes under, push your heels away and stretch into the back of the leg. So this one is called swimming, but when you swim you don't normally just use legs, we're going to use upper body as well. So today we're going to do upper body too. I'm going to just wriggle myself down so you can see my arms. Choices. Arms by your side. I'm going to start here and then progress. Get the head looking down. So watch first if you don't know this one and then get going. I'm just going to show it and I'm going to shut up and then talk about it afterwards. Engage. Breathe in. So it's one arm at a time. The chest stays to the ground. You're thinking about your shoulder and shoulder blade. So if I come up and just show you from there, it might be easy to see that way. So it's one arm squeezing back, then the other. So I'm not turning my chest. I'm trying to make my shoulder blade take the shoulder back. So it's almost like you're playing table tennis. They're your shoulder blades and you're kind of knocking and knocking it, pushing those shoulders in. Shoulder problems, you might feel it more on one side than the other. Feel free to stay with the elbows bent. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. If you feel you can, Just start to move the hands up. Exactly the same. Hips to the ground, shoulders. Just keep the chest flat. How far can you go? The ultimate is to have the arms lengthened next to the ears. So as you go for the lengthened arms, keep going. If you do try lengthened arms, it's not as easy. There's not as much movement there. You will feel it going down the back more. So you really need to engage the core. If you feel it too much into your lower back, then don't go fully lengthened. Go for a slight bend. So you've got more of a movement. Really struggling? Come back to there. But it's all about the shoulder. So it's not a turn with the chest, it's that shoulder. So we're working into the shoulder joint, but we're also working our back muscles. You should feel it through the back as well. And just like with the legs, you can alternate them. However you choose, with the elbows bent or lengthening. 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease. Let the arms relax. From there, when you're ready, push yourself up into a child pose and stretch down the back of the body. So that one does take a while to get the hang of, particularly the shoulder movement. So take a time, practice it, do this class several times until you really feel that it's just the shoulder moving. If you've not got much movement in the shoulder, you're not going to go very far. Make sure it's not just that lower arm that's lifting, it's the whole arm that moves. Even if it's only a little bit off the floor, that'll get the right muscles working. So we need to roll to face the other way, whether you want to roll onto your back, or as I'm doing now, twizzle yourself to face the other way, ready for that other side leg. You can tell with these trousers which leg I've done, because now I've got my stripe on the top. Get yourself in position. So get your balance first, switch on through the core, engage, breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift, change the foot, lower, change the foot. So see how my legs come together. They touch, they meet, not completely though. My thighs come together. But I keep myself holding on, never fully allowing it to relax. Change the hand position. Check your position with your shoulder. That way you switch on through that upper body. Really feel the lift, the squeeze, but no movement through the hip. Are you ready to add the lower leg? Relax that foot at the bottom. Feel free to move it with the top if that's what you find easier. Get the right words in the right order. I find just letting that foot relax. So it's the inner thigh holding it up. Again, you don't have to keep it there. Maybe you want to concentrate on what the foot's doing. You don't have to fully point the toe. I can slide my heel right back and feel that tensing into the calf without pointing my toe. If I pointed my toe, I'd get cramp. But I can get that calf working. Feel it through there. See if you can feel it up to there by pushing that little bit further. So you tilt your hip and you're tilting it in rather than twisting it forwards or back. If you find your foot starts to go the opposite way because you miss one little turn, one little change, it doesn't matter. You can manage 2 more. you bring it down, ease it, relax it. That one seems to hurt more on that side. And the more you concentrate on getting the lower half working, the more you might feel it down there too. We do have one muscle that actually runs all the way from your foot, it actually encases the foot and comes all the way up, wrapping round every muscle all the way up into your neck. And we'll give it a stretch later. I feel that one an awful lot down there. That's sometimes when you feel it down the side of the shin. So when you're ready, roll onto your back and let's have a nice stretch into those hips that we've just been working. So do the one you've worked first, cross it over. Yeah, can feel that one now. Use your hand, push a little further if you need, grab hold, pull it in. That one's hurting enough, I don't need to. Relax your hips, just let that leg flop out. Do the other side as well, we didn't get to stretch that one. See, that one's relaxed a little bit more, so I can take it further before I get my stretch. And if you need it, if you lifted that lower leg, feel free to go there too. We've got 2 moves left. The 100. Are we ready for it? So did we get to, I can't remember what we got to last time. Let's try for 5 minutes. 5 minutes holding constantly if you can, or stopping, relaxing and coming back in as soon as you feel you can do it. Then in class 6, I want you to see if you didn't manage to hold for the whole 5 minutes, see if you can hold for longer. If you did manage to hold for the whole 5 minutes, can you take it up a level? But don't do that yet. It's just a challenge of 5 minutes today. So remember your options. You've got your pelvic tilt. You've got your pelvic tilt holding the legs in the air. You can lengthen your legs, but don't lengthen them away. They go straight up. You can go for your curl through the shoulder, lifting, feeling the rib cage slide towards the hips. Use your hands for counting. Legs, legs. Hold with the stomach, your choice. You know it by now, we've done it for 4 classes. So let's go for it. Let me check the time. So get yourself in position, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift, whether it's pelvic tilt or bringing it up. We're at 33 minutes. Let's go. Breathe. Somebody's trying to break into my door. So, slide the rib cage. Use a hand if you need to support the head. Remember, don't pull it. Lift and curl. Feel that curve into the spine, whether it's through upper body or into your lower body. And just concentrate on your breath. If it's feeling really easy, lift your feet. But we are here for 5 minutes, remember, so just go to where feels comfortable for you, where you think, I could hold this for a while now and get in the hang of it. Apologies that my daughter just coming in, checking how long I've got left. So remember, if you're going for the pelvic tilt, you need to feel your lower back pushed into the ground. You feel that on both because you're getting that curve. So really squeeze tight, but relax the feet in both. So you're not pushing into your feet, because if you push into your feet, you start to lift. I need you just to curve. You can, even in this position, get a little pelvic tilt. So you work both if you really want to without having to lift the feet. Where are we? 1.5 minutes gone. Breathe. So I'm starting to feel, starting to get warmth there now. Been trying to do quite a bit of abs recently. So I'm starting to feel it already. Starting to feel your neck hurt. Just double check that you're not there and you haven't sort of let your body go down. Make sure it is into there. How's your breathing going? Have you kind of forgotten about what you're doing? Breathe in for 5 little pulses, breathe out for 5 little pulses. So I'm using one hand for my in breath, other hand for my out breath. but you got to find what works for you. So don't kind of go and think you got to breathe in at that pace. I kind of just sort of gently go through them, or you can just do that if you like, or get a little bounce. Whatever's best for you. Maybe just counting in your head. Reason I go for getting the fingers is so then you can maybe start counting to get the actual 100, because that's what we're aiming for, 100 in and out breaths. So by using your fingers, once you've done both hands, that's 1. Hopefully we're not on 1 though. Hopefully we've gone further than 1 already. How are we doing? 3 minutes gone. I don't know if that helps or if that makes you something, still got 2 minutes to go. I don't mind if you get to a point where you just think, I cannot hold this any longer. Go down, relax. If it's upper body, you can always go to the pelvic tilt instead, so you can keep yourself going. I really do need to change my arm now, but I can't talk to you as well. That arm's aching. It's not a pull. Relax the head, lift. Really get it there. I'm feeling a good warmth there now. Come on, we're almost there. Almost 5 minutes. We can do this. Just keep thinking. Just keep rechecking your body as you kind of get to a point where you think, I can't hold it anymore. Run through the body. Have you lifted through the shoulders? Are you sliding down? Are you pushing the lower back into the ground? Are you relaxed through your feet, through your legs? If you've got your legs in the air, still relax them. You're not still holding them there. Just let them relax. If you're going for the pelvic tilt, it's the stomach that's holding those legs in position. Come on, we're into our final minute. You can do it. If you've got to a point where it just hurts too much and you cannot come back up again once you've had a little rest, don't. You're going to just damage. We go to a point of feeling it, a point of just past feeling it, where you're thinking, yeah, I'm starting to struggle a little, and then you know you've done enough. Final 15 seconds if you can. Get it crunched, lower back to the ground, flatten your stomach. 3, 2, 1, and ease it down, stretch it out. So, I'm going to be a little bit cruel to you now. We're going to work into the sides of our stomach. Another new move. It's going to be side bends. You just work your central core really hard, your rectus abdomini. We're going to need it for this next move, but I'm going to make you work the sides. So get yourself into a neutral position. So feet flat to the ground, hip width apart with the feet, little gap underneath your lower back. Keep your shoulders down. So it's going to be a side bend. Hands, if your shoulders allow, come by your ears. And we need to do a little crunch, like we've just done, but don't come too high. So feel the belly push to the ground as you slightly lift through your shoulders. And the reason we have the hands by the ears is so you can support your head. And then it's just a little side bend. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you reach down one side. Breathe in, breathe out, and reach down the other. So the central core is going to hurt a little because we've just done 5 minutes of this. But now we add into the obliques, working those side muscles. So keep it going. Little look, if you're not too sure what it looks like sat up. And if you can't do this laying down, you can do it sat, you can do it stood. Either there or place your hands on your waist. And it's there, that little side bend, the crunch. So we're aiming to bring your rib cage down to meet your hips. So if you do this sitting, you've got to keep your hips anchored to the ground. Core's held tight, whatever you choose to do. And you just feel that crunch into your side. It's almost as if there's a wall just in front and behind you, and the only place you can go is to the side. Similar if you're laying down. You curled slightly up, but now there's a wall just above you. There's a wall underneath, it's the floor. The only way you can go is side to side. So feeling it into the waist. I've done it this way round because I wanted to get the challenge of the 5 minutes. And if we'd already done this, then your stomach would have been a little bit tired and you might not have been able to manage the full 5-minute challenge. This way round, I don't mind how many of these you do. We're just adding it in today. Next class, we'll do it again. You can try and do a little more then. So how are you feeling? Are you getting it into that side? Could you reach a little bit further down? I've got quite long arms, so I can reach my foot. I can touch my heel. You might find you don't, and that's fine. It's reaching down the side of the body. Arm just floating off the floor, feeling that crunch. Now, if you lay down, you may feel the hip come very slightly up towards you as well, because that's how our muscle connects. It connects at the rib cage, it connects onto the hip. And although we're aiming to move from the rib cage, it's going to pull on the hip too. So let the head relax back, breathe out. Is your stomach still holding tight, pushing that belly button to the ground, or keeping the body nice and tall if you're set? Can you manage one more each side? Then ease it, release it, stretch it out again, lengthening off. Now, because we've worked into the obliques, feel free to reach one arm higher and stretch that leg at the same side, so you really start to feel the length in there. You might even find it curve like a banana. And then do the other side, reach. So how's that feeling? Is that stomach worked? Are you ready for your relaxation now? Do any other kind of stretches that you need to do. You can draw your knees into the chest if you want to. If you're finding you're aching into your lower back, then that can be quite nice. And then when you're ready, get yourself prepared for your relaxation. So grab your blanket, grab your pillow, pop some relaxing music on if you haven't already. Find your comfortable position. As always, I'm going to sit so you can hear my voice a little bit more clearly. Take time when you get there. Get comfy and concentrate as always on your breath. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. The power of the breath. Whenever you feel stressed, if ever you feel you can't cope, concentrate on your breath. Concentrate on opening through the rib cage and then pushing all that air away. Concentrate as you breathe out and relaxing the shoulders and relaxing the hips, relaxing the arms, the legs, and relaxing through the face. Relax the jaw. It's amazing how much you tense through your jaw. Let the teeth separate and allow yourself to breathe. Imagine the stress and the strains of the day, of the week, drifting away from you. Blow them away. Blow them out of your body. Pilates is made up of 6 principles. A breath. Focusing on the breath and how it helps the body. Our core centering. So not just the stomach, but feeling how Our core supports our body. And even now as we relax, feel that body being supported. The more you get used to using your core and getting into a good position, the more it will naturally hold you. Flow. We flow our breath. We flow our movements. As they flow, we take away the stress and the strains. We allow them to move as one. We concentrate on how we're moving during the main phase, but also how we relax in our relaxation. Release the tension. We controlling the moves, controlling the breath. Control your body and mind as one. And it all builds to precision. Slowly focus on your in-breath. Feel that air flow into the body, circulating round, bringing new life, new energy. Allow the fingers to wriggle, that clench and spread if you want. Allow the toes to move, maybe a circle of the ankles. If you are in a different position, you're happy to lay down again on your back and slowly move yourself into that position. Lengthening the legs away. And as you feel fine, let the arms reach up above the head. Stretch through the whole of the body. And if you've relaxed well, you might find you yawn or you take a deeper breath. Letting that air flow. A little bend of the elbow and just let the arms relax above the head. Then slowly let the knees bend, the feet come flat to the ground. Just reset your hips if you need to. Soles of the feet come together and the knees flop one each way, allowing them to relax. So if you're in a sitting position, we do the same. Sitting on your seat bones, bring the feet together, let the knees drop out. Remember, you can take the legs long and out to the side if you're in a sitting position, protecting the knees, or if you need it to be able to take it further. So whether you're sitting or laying down, you can move the hands and just place them onto the legs. We don't pull, we don't push, we just place them. And the weight of the arms gently increases the stretch. So breathe out. Concentrate on letting go. Give way to that stretch. Gently bring the knees back in. Knees come in towards the chest, support on the shin or the back of the thigh. A little rock, loosen into the lower back. Relax the legs and again use the weight of the arms to draw the knees into the chest. Let the back relax. Let the hips relax. Gently ease. Bring the feet to the ground. Let the arms open out wide. And the knees slowly move to one side. Let the lower leg flop towards the ground. It might not make it. Top leg then just chooses its own position. So I stretch into the side. Take that leg further if you need. Use that hand to support if you want. And relax. If you feel fine, turn the head the opposite way to the knees. Full twist in the spine. Gently back to the middle, and in your own time take it the other way. Gradually increase as you need. We never force. If you've got a stretch, then you leave it there. If you can gently ease it further, then do so. Bring it back to the centre, and in your own time, sitting yourself up, roll onto one side and push if that's easier for you. Take a moment or two. Then allow one leg to lengthen out in front. Other leg can either flop the knee to the side or move the foot out of the way. So we've got that long leg. Wriggle your bum back. Start to tilt from the hip so you get your stretch into the back of the leg. And ease yourself forwards. Try not to make it a reach with the arms or a curve through the spine. Tip from the hip. Get the stretch into the back of the leg first. Once you've got it there, then if you want, let the chin drop towards the chest. Ease down further, and that gets a nice stretch into your back also. Slowly roll up and change to the other leg. So that knee can drop out, move the foot to the side, wriggle the bum, and then tip. Get in the hamstring first. Relax into it. So relax the knee. If you feel you can, gently ease down. You might start to feel it then go down into your calf as well as into the back. All the way from the lower back right up to the neck if you allow the chin to drop towards the chest. Slowly roll up. So I promise to stretch for that muscle that runs all the way up the body. You've got one long leg. Either place the other leg on top so you're kind of pulling back that toe, or just cross the leg over. Bringing both toes back if you feel fine. You then reach with the same arm as leg on top, down. If you can't grab hold of your toe, then you're just reaching down. Again, wriggle your bum, pull your bum cheeks out behind so you get that tip from the hip. But I want you to curve. I want you to try and pull back in whichever position you're comfortable. Whether you're there, relax. So you may feel this down the side of the leg, you may feel it through the back, the neck, you may even feel it in the lower leg. Slowly ease and change to the other side. You might find you can do better on this side, it might be worse. Wherever's comfortable for you. So don't mind if you're crossed. Try and pull the toes back because that increases the stretch into the foot as well. Even if you're there, you should then feel it all the way through the leg. Although that's where I get my best stretch, I can feel it with just the legs crossed and a tip forwards. If you do struggle to sit with your legs lengthened out, you might find you have to support yourself with your hands. You might be there. Still pull back, still try and use your hands to increase and get that stretch. In fact, if I keep my body long, I can still feel a stretch in that position. Let your chin drop to your chest. You can still feel something. It's where you need to be. Work with your own body. Slowly ease. Bring yourself around to your knees. So if you want to do that out to thigh stretch where we cross one leg over, or go into the hurdler stretch like we've done before, please feel free to add that in now. If not, we're going to stretch into the hip. So take a nice long stride. You can use your hand on the floor, grab a wall. That wall's a bit too far away. It looked closer than the screen. Travel forward, keeping that knee over the ankle. So you can use the floor. You're aiming to get the stretch into your hip, so you're dropping down. I've done this one before. This is my ultimate. Can you do the split stretch? So if you can get your balance, you can come there, lift through the chest, and you start to lengthen more. You can even take your arm up, but make sure you sink into the hip. If you are fancying trying to do the splits, then you can bring yourself down and start to walk that foot forwards. Either with the hands on the inner thigh or one forward, one back. It depends on kind of how low you go, how long your arms are, to whether you end up laying on your leg. Bring it back and change. I'm going to use the sideboard this time. My drawers. So lean into it, ease down into that stretch. Take it to where you need to. Whether you come down, whether you take it up. All get that good stretch. You only have one better side. I'm not sure which is my better side for this. Bring it up. Now you can either keep one foot forward or come back to your knees, whichever you choose to get yourself to your feet. And then slowly roll through the spine. So let's finish. Take your time. Take a moment or two just to reset, to get the blood flowing back to the head and that balance. So tall through the body, engage through the core. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, tap forwards. Bring it through the middle and tap behind. Change to the other foot. Forwards and behind. Use the arms. Flow. Breathe. Control. Core centering, supporting you. Concentrate on where you're working, what you're relaxing, what you're engaging. And then you get precision. I'm just going to move forward. If anyone does want a little extra for this one, as you take the leg behind, we can go into what's called the dive. So you get to your maximum point, and can you bend your knee? And if you can, you start to tip the body as a whole. So don't just tip the body forward. You've got to try and take the leg up as well. Soften into the knee. Can you dive? I can just feel the draw unit behind my leg on that one. I'm not sure how good it looked. One more time each side, whatever option you choose. Ooh, I can't balance now. Reset. Take your time to finish. Ease through the legs. Bring yourself back into neutral and that small twist into the waist. Bring it center. Take a deep breath in. Reach high. Breathe out. Look to the hands if you can. Keeping the hips in neutral. Try and push the arms back further. Release. A shoulder roll. Set. And give yourselves a little round of applause. Thank you very much. So that is class 5. As always, let me know, give me comments, suggestions, how you're getting on. If you want to improve anything, let me know. And class 6 will be on there soon, or if you're doing this at some other time, class 6 should already be there. So when you're ready, move on and go to class 6. See you again soon. I really should get my watch set up, shouldn't I, before I say that, so then we can just go, see you again soon.